You know, we've been working really hard today. What do you say we take a break and go and check out that Buckeye thing?
That's a great idea. Let's go. Look at that. What is it?
This is a Buckeye Powered Parachute. A flying machine so easy to fly that most anybody can do it. If you've ever wanted to fly like a bird, here's your opportunity.
You know, this is really hard to believe. People are flying parachutes.
That's right. It's quite a nifty airplane, isn't it? Probably the biggest difference between a Buckeye Powered parachute and a regular airplane is its wing. A parachute, actually.
You see, it's the parachute wing that gives the Buckeye its incredible stability. In the 10 years or so that Buckeye has been flying, it has gained a reputation for being the quick and easy way to fly. And it's an awful lot of fun.
It looks like a ball. Tell me, what makes the Buckeye so easy to fly?
First of all, its speed. Unlike most aircraft, it flies at just one speed, about 30 miles an hour in the two-place Dream Machine that you see here. Whether you're taking off cruising around, or landing, you'll go this one slow and comfortable speed.
What this means is that all flight is slow and easy. You'll always have plenty of time to take in the scenery and enjoy yourself. Because you and the airframe are suspended below the parachute, you can't do some of the things that regular airplanes can do, like loop or roll or dive.
This doesn't take any of the fun away. It just reduces the risks of flight. And this plane is virtually stall resistant.
This Buckeye is really amazing. But you said it's easy to fly. Now, I can't imagine anything easy to fly, especially for me because I've never flown anything before.
Well, most people are able to take their first solo flight in just 2 hours of dealer training from an authorized Buckeye dealer.
And as a matter of fact, there's only 3 controls to learn. Ground steering is done by this lever here. Changing course while flying is done with the foot steering levers. Going up and coming down is done with the throttle. Pretty basic, huh? It really is easy. Buckeye has a network of dealers throughout the United States that provide the necessary training.
Oh, another thing that I just remembered. You can fly this plane by yourself. You don't need a ground crew, a chase vehicle, or big bucks to fly.
I don't? How much does it cost?
About the same as a nice boat or motorcycle. And anybody can afford to take a training flight with a dealer. That's really the best way to see what this sport is all about.
Okay, I'm getting excited, but I still don't see how a Buckeye takes off.
Well, we'll show you. Thank you. Lay out the chute behind the airplane. Give her a little gas. And when the chute is fully inflated overhead, give her full power for takeoff. And you're flying.
Once airborne, the throttle determines your altitude. More throttle, and you'll climb. Medium throttle provides level flight. The foot steering levers deflect the trailing edge of the chute, producing a turn. See? If you decrease the throttle, you will descend. The Buckeye then glides back down to the earth just like a skydiver does with every jump. Whether climbing, cruising, or descending, your speed remains a constant 30 miles an hour, slow and easy.
After touchdown, the nose wheel steering lever guides you to your parking place. And that's it.
That's it? That's all there is to it? Well, that is easy. Now tell me, why is Buckeye the best machine?
We've become the largest manufacturer of powered parachutes in the world, and we're proud of our reputation. Other folks think pretty highly of us also. Last year, we won the Best of Type Awards at both of the nation's 2 major air shows, Sun and Fun and Oshkosh.
And we've won the Best of Type Parawing Award again at Sun and Fun in '95.
Wow, I'm impressed. It sounds like you guys have quite a reputation. But how did you get it?
By never resting, for one thing, we're committed to continuous quality improvement, so we're constantly fine-tuning and testing our ideas. This has led us to the development of the strongest airframe in the business. Our safety, design, and flight stability is widely known.
We use the best materials available, from aircraft-grade aluminum tubing and hardware fasteners to chromoly side rails for extra strength. We overbuild our frames to maximize your safety.
We use powder coat paint as a standard feature to protect and color all of our frames. If Red Baron Red isn't for you, just about any color is available as an option.
The heavy-duty suspension system on the Buckeye uses large-diameter fiberglass spring rods and oversized tires to cushion your takeoff and landings. Now, this is a really nice feature, especially when you're flying from unimproved fields.
Yep. And the frame is joined to the parachute wing with heavy flying cables that boast a total of 14,000 pounds of tensile strength. How's that for a safety reserve?
The Buckeye is built with at least a 10-to-1 safety margin. Now, that means that every part has been designed and built to withstand 10 times more stress than is necessary for basic flight.
I'm starting to feel more and more confident about flying in a Buckeye. What else can you tell me about the parachute?
Well, our chutes are designed and manufactured just for Buckeye by Quantum Parachutes. They're a leader in parachute design and construction. Through the years, they've been safety tested, fine-tuned, and refined to be the most stable, forgiving, and the best performing chutes anywhere.
And by the way, you can have your choice of parachute colors. There are 4 stock color patterns to choose from. And if you want to get really creative, well, most any color or pattern can be an option.
I've seen both 1 and 2 people flying in Buckeyes. Are there different models?
There sure are. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, do you want a single-place Buckeye, or do you want the 2-place Dream Machine? The single-place obviously carries 1 person, but the Dream Machine easily converts from solo to 2-place. When you fly solo, there's a high backrest on your seat and a storage trunk behind. With a flip of a partition, you now have a seat for your passenger.
The next thing to consider is the engine. Now, there's 3 engine sizes to choose from: the 447, the 503, and the 582cc liquid-cooled, oil-injected powerhouse. Your Buckeye dealer can help you choose the right engine for your model by taking into account things like the conditions of your flying area and the weight of you and your friend.
Can you tell me about the engines Buckeye uses?
We use Rotax 2-cycle aircraft engines because they're the industry standard, and because they're light, they're powerful, and dependable.
They all have a dual Ducati capacitor discharge ignition, which adds to safety and reliability. Do you see how each cylinder has 2 spark plugs? Well, if one plug fails, the other plug has a separate circuit that continues to work.
All right. We've covered frame, chute, and engine. Is there anything else I need?
Maybe. We recommend that you equip your Buckeye with some instruments, so you'll be a safer and better pilot.
What kind of instruments, and why do I need them?
Think of instruments as a source of valuable information. Information that keeps both you and your plane healthy and happy. For instance, the tachometer indicates proper engine RPM. The hour meter keeps a record of engine operating times, both the total engine hours and the length of your last flight. The temperature gauges show engine temperature. This relates to proper lubrication and cooling.
And when you equip your Buckeye with the strobe light, not only are you more visible, but you're allowed an extra hour of flying time, a half hour before sunrise and a half hour after sunset.
Do the Buckeyes come in a kit, or are they ready to fly?
That can go either way. Your Buckeye can be assembled by your dealer, or you can put it together yourself. The basic single-place kit can be assembled in about 30 hours using standard workshop tools.
And speaking of dealers, we have a nationwide network to help you with sales, service, and training.
How far can someone expect to fly in a Buckeye?
Most people enjoy local flying, just seeing the sights and having a good time. But you can take cross-country jaunts if you're the adventurous type, like our friend Jim McClay. He won the Flight of the Year award from the United States Ultralight Association in 1994.
Okay, it took me about 49 hours of actual flying time, and I flew 1,530 miles, going to Oshkosh and back from Morristown, Tennessee.
Did you have any problems?
None whatsoever. And I flew from one airport to another, so I didn't have any ground crew at all.
Sounds fabulous.
It was. Really enjoyed it. Had a marvelous time. Recommend it for everybody.
Well, whatever kind of flying you like to do, why not consider joining us at the Buckeye National Fly-In? It's held each year in Argus, Indiana. You'll see all kinds of powered parachutes and have a great time socializing. We mix up flying with seminars, cookouts, and lots of conversation.
Maybe I will. But before I forget, I want to ask you, what's the flying season in a Buckeye?
The Buckeye is not just a fair weather friend. It's a year-round vehicle that's just as comfortable on the snow with skis as it is with wheels. Hans Robin, our northernmost dealer, prefers winter flying.
Hey, I'm getting excited about this. I definitely want to take a training flight, maybe even fly one myself, but I'm not a pilot. Is that going to keep me grounded?
I'm glad you asked, because about 70% of our Buckeye pilots are non-aviation types. They're just ordinary people like you and me, and they found how easy and affordable flight is in a Buckeye.
Why don't you give Buckeye Powered Parachutes a call? They can introduce you to your nearest dealer, and you can arrange for a training flight. It won't be long before you can fly and own your own Buckeye Powered Parachute.
Now, free flight in the aircraft, like any aircraft, you start at point A and work yourself around. The best place on these is really at the nose wheel. Naturally, we're looking for air in the tire. The axle bolt is tight. We look for bolts and nuts and things to be tight. We check our steering bars.
Just like any airplane.
Just like any aircraft at all, doing the same thing. We're looking, making sure everything works like it's supposed to.
Take
We're also
your nose
looking.
around to your right a little bit. Straight with the shoe. There, about right there.
We're also looking for anything that would be hanging that doesn't look like it belongs to be hanging. So, you know, you have a link here that the parachute's tied to. We check it, same way. And we follow ourselves around, going around. We get to the engine. We check the exhaust, make sure that the springs are all on, that the safety wire. We check it for looseness. We check the manifold. Everything's here. If you look down here, the muffler's good, the clamps are good. You know, physically do it. The motor is set in there great. We check the prop. We also make sure all the bolts are here, none's missing. Physically, again, check it for tightness. Our gearbox, vent still on, everything tight, it's good. Spark plugs, caps on good. Come around here, we actually see if the carburetor's on solid. Yep. You know, if it falls off, we have a problem. Fuel pump, same thing. Make sure the nuts are
If the carburetor falls off, Randy says then you got a problem.
just a small one. Our fuel level, we're showing about 4 gallons. No problem there. This is our fuel shutoff valve. This is off. This is on. We have it in on position. We physically check basically everything. One thing for you as a pilot, you're going to have to remember, this is more of a pitch control than a throttle. This lever here just steers the nose wheel. Basically, we're going to go in a straight line. But I do want you to remember, if you push forward, you go right, pull back, you go left. Hopefully, we won't have to adjust anything. But as I say add power,
Are you going to have me fly straight line first?
right, we can take off.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
I'm saying we don't have to drive all, we don't have to steer this. So basically, you're just going to hold this still, straight.
Right.
Now, you're going to hear me say go to power. Your instinct's going to be go forward. Go forward. Well, on this machine, that's backwards. So you're going to have to concentrate and think on what you're doing. I'm going to say, Hank, I'm going to say give it power. Each time I say power, I want you to move about a ½ inch. I'm going to say more power. I want you another ½ inch. And we have to let things catch up with you. So I'll say more power.
You're talking about while we're fighting the chute?
While we're on the
Making
ground,
sure that that's-
from the get-go. You'll hear the command, you'll be sitting there, say, okay, Hank, you ready? You go, ready. Okay, give it power. So we'll move a ½ inch. Say more power, ½ inch. I'll say more power, ½ inch. Say more power, a ½ inch. Say more power,
You
Hank.
want me checking the chute?
No.
You don't want me
I want you to fix yourself on a point and guide this thing straight. I'll do the chute because I'll be standing down there. I'll say more power. At a point, the chute will come up. I'll say hold the power. And I don't want you adding or nothing. I may give you the command. I'll say, Hank, push both foot bars forward And what that's doing is opening up the end cells. Sometimes this chute pops open, sometimes it don't. Being a little damp, it might not. So if I give you that command, I'll say push them both forward. When it pops open, I'll say release them, and you just let them come back to their idle positions. I'll say go to full power. Again, this is where you are going to have to concentrate because you're going to want to do this. But I want you to pull the yoke. If I would say, what would you be more comfortable with? Pull the yoke back or what? You've got to go to power at that point.
Just pull back.
Okay, I'll say pull back. And when you pull back, now what you're going to find is your deck
But
angle.
don't say power back.
Right, I'll say pull back.
back.
Okay. You're going to find your deck angle is going to be a little greater than what you're normally used to. You're normally used to taking off and seeing the horizon right here. And you just keep climbing out with this horizon. It's always basically in the same place. This climbs above the horizon, but it won't stall, so that's not a problem. So we're not worried about the deck angle. Again, we'll take off out here. We'll clear the swamp. There's a hard road. I really don't want you to go over the hard road. We'll make a right-hand turn out here over this field. Once you get out here, we'll
Fly around.
do turns, go up and down, get used to the controls. Then when you say you're ready, then we'll get you back into a right-hand pattern, with that being the downwind leg. We'll turn base and final, and again, we'll bring you in here.
Fly around here
I would
a
like
little
for you to come in and do some orientation
I'd like to-
flying.
I'd like to.
Right, to get orientated to the field and get used to coming in and fly around as much as you want. And then when you're ready to land, then we'll talk you into a land. Okay? Again, you don't have an altimeter, so
Well,
just if the trees are
No.
real little, you're high. If the trees are real tall, you're too low.
okay. There's a...
There you go. Put your helmet on. I think he's having fun.
I love it.
Ready to land, you're going to see we're going to have to come in way over there on the southeast corner and land southeast and northwest. What I'd like for you to do this time, let's just do a practice. Let's consider this like a downwind leg. Fly down here toward this hard road in front of you.
There's a
Everything.
little bit of you know, twisting and bouncing around and stuff
Well,
like that.
you
up
got
there.
to remember, you're a real light aircraft, and
Yeah.
some mild, just a mild thermals, and
Yeah.
plus the wind has picked up some.
Yeah. What a fantastic experience. I'm telling you, Randy, I had to unlearn as much as I learned in terms of the previous flying stuff.
And I
It
explained
works-
this as a
it works
pilot.
against you.
As a pilot, you are the worst student we
Yeah,
can have,
yeah.
because we have to detrain you and train you at the same
Exactly.
time.
Yeah, it just does not respond like an airplane.
Yeah.
I mean, it responds wonderfully, but you
Right.
can't put in airplane responses to
Right.
it because it just doesn't work.
And when you take the average person that's never flown anything, he has no problems because he has no
Yeah, he's
concepts.
not unlearning
Right, he's not
anything.
learning anything.
Yeah.
But I thought you done a fantastic job. I was
Well,
real impressed.
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for
Well,
talking me
thank
through
you.
it.
Look at that, Captain Hank Austin flying along. There he goes. Not bad, Hank, for your second flight. You're doing real well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have the second chute coming your way, the blue one's in front of me, and this happens to be my second solo flight. So if I look a little nervous up here, it's just because I'm pretty new to this powered parachuting, but it just amazes me. First of all, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I've got
Looks like he's coming in.
He said what we were on was you, Tom. He's picking up air traffic.
John needs to kill him.
I don't got him on the radio. Real careful.
Yeah, he's taxiing up here. Doing a real good job taxiing.